Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going deep on the essential mental models every single product leader needs to really get their head around to lead in the age of AI. We're going to break down the key insights from Nikhil Kumar's amazing course, AI Foundations for Product Leaders. So let's just kick things off with a big, maybe a little uncomfortable question. I want you to think about your current roadmap, your feature backlog, your entire product strategy. Is it still relevant? Or is it possible that generative AI has already made it obsolete? All right, let's get into it. Section 1 is all about establishing why this moment, right now, is fundamentally different from anything we've seen before. We're not just talking about another tech trend, we are looking at a paradigm shift that is rewriting the entire rulebook. And the core idea here is absolutely critical to understand. Think about past tech revolutions like the internet and mobile. They were mostly about creating new channels, new ways to deliver stuff that already existed. You could book a flight or order a pizza, but just on a different screen. Generative AI, it's different. It creates entirely new product logic from the ground up. The product itself is changing. So what does this mean for the role of a product manager? Well, it's being rewritten in real time. It's not just about managing a backlog anymore. Suddenly, you've got to be in the room making architecture decisions, designing truly AI-native experiences, and being the one who sets realistic expectations. And things like building data moats and leading with safety, they're not side quests anymore, they are the main event. Okay, let's keep going and peel back another layer. We're going to go inside the AI brain. And look, don't worry, you're not going to need a computer science degree or have to write a single line of code for this part. The whole point is to demystify the raw material that's powering all of this change.
So what is the magic behind a large language model, or LLM? You know, it's actually surprisingly simple, but that's what makes it so powerful. At its absolute core, all it's doing is next token prediction. The model just looks at a string of text and makes a statistical guess about the most likely next word, or token, to come after it. It just does that over and over and over again, and that's how you get everything from an email to a piece of computer code. That's it. That's the engine.
But that simple engine is also what explains all of its flaws. And for a product leader, knowing these limitations is absolutely everything. An LLM can hallucinate. It confidently just makes stuff up. Its knowledge has a cutoff date, so it's not current. Its short-term memory, its context window, is pretty limited, and it can really struggle with complex reasoning. If you don't burn these into your brain, you will build products that make promises the technology just can't deliver on. So if the base model has all these problems, how do we get from this raw, flawed model to a product that's genuinely useful? Well, that brings us to Section 3, upgrading the base model. This is where the real product work actually begins. The secret is that you don't just use the raw model, you add layers or upgrades on top of it. So first, you give it knowledge by connecting it to fresh, live data. Second, you teach it reasoning so it can think in structured steps. Third, you give it tools, letting it use APIs and other software. And finally, you give it memory for long-term recall. A great AI product isn't just a base LLM. It's a whole system built from these 4 powerful layers. Now, this leads to a huge architectural decision that you, as a product leader, will have to face: RAG versus fine-tuning. But it's actually pretty simple. If your product needs new knowledge, you use RAG to go get external data. If you need it to learn a new skill or adopt a new style, you use fine-tuning. Just knowing which tool to use for which job is a total game changer. Okay, so we've designed our layered AI product, but how do we make it defensible? How do we stop somebody else from just coming along and copying it? That's what Section 4 is all about, creating the learning loop. This slide really says it all. Great AI products are not a set it and forget it kind of thing. They are continuously trained. A static AI product is basically a dead product. The real sustainable advantage, your moat, comes from building a system that learns and gets smarter with every single user interaction. And the engine that powers this is a process called RLHF, Reinforcement Learning from Human Feedback. It works like a flywheel. Step 1, the AI generates responses. Step 2, humans, your users, rank them or give feedback. Step 3, that feedback trains a separate reward model. And finally, that reward model is used to improve the core AI. This loop is what separates a cool demo from a truly world-class product. And that brings us to the frontier, the real bleeding edge of product development today. Section 5, the rise of AI agents. We're talking about moving beyond AI that just helps you to AI that actually accomplishes goals for you. This timeline just lays out the evolution perfectly. We started with chatbots, right? They just answer your questions. Then we got copilots, which are awesome because they help you with your tasks. But now we're entering the final stage, the agent. You give it a complex goal, and it figures out all the steps to get it done on its own. So how does an agent actually think? Well, it runs on this continuous loop. It starts with perception, where it senses its digital environment. Then it moves to planning, creating a multi-step attack plan. Next is execution, where it actually takes action using its tools. And finally, reflection, where it looks at the outcome and learns from it. Think about the Klarna AI shopping assistant. It's not just answering questions, it's actively taking actions for you. And this brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway from all of this. Your most critical product decisions, they're not going to be about features anymore. They're going to be about the level of autonomy and trust you grant to your AI. How much control do you give it? And how do you make sure it always acts in the user's best interest? This is the new frontier. So, as you go back and think about your own products in this new world, I want you to ask yourself this one final question. Are you building tools that your users have to operate, or are you building autonomous teammates that achieve goals with them? The answer to that question is going to define the next generation of product innovation.